LFR is live now. Let's queue up and do some dungeons. Hello everyone, welcome to this guide. The next boss has a lot of ads. Basically, there are a few number of tentacles. The Dominator tentacles need to be tanked. There are also some horrors that can come out. Those also need to be tanked. But Dominator tentacles do take priority. You don't want that horror bouncing around. But if the Dominator tentacles aren't tanked, they will dish out a ton of damage and wipe out your raid. Now, when anything dies here, be it a tentacle, a horror, or anything, they do spawn these globules you see right here, these ichors. Each ichor is fixated on one person and will follow them. What you need to do is run to the front of the boss, right in front of the eye, make sure the ichor goes there, and then once it gets there, DPS it down and kill it. So you can snare, you can stun, you can do whatever you need to do to get the ichors to die there. Once 20 of them die in front of the boss will go down, revealing the heart, and that's where you go in there and DPS that down and kill the boss. Here you do see a horror is about to spawn right in the middle. I'm going to pick that up. In LFR, you don't need to swap tanks and get the debuff to go off of you. It's not that difficult in LFR. You do see I get a stack of the debuff here. It's not going to make or break this fight. You'll be fine as one tank tanking the horror and not swapping over. The other type of tentacle that does need special attention is there is a tentacle that casts Mind Flay. Now, if you do see this tentacle, DPS it down and interrupt the Mind Flay. Mind Flay will hurt a lot. So you do see I keep running to the front of the boss because when these things die, I do want the ichors to be close to the front of the boss. I also am making sure to use Thunderclap on cooldown to keep everything snared and to make sure that we can DPS things down in the front a little bit better. So here we go, the chamber's open. At this point, you just need to nuke the heart. And the only big mechanic you need to worry about is every now and then about 3 people will get targeted with a giant explosion. You see it right here. They need to run out of the group and not hit anyone with this. So if you do get targeted with this, you can either run out of the chamber, run to the back of the chamber, the edges of the chamber, whatever it is you need to do, go ahead and do that. The only other thing that needs to happen during this is you do see that long cast time that's happening. If it's starting to get close to the end, if you're still in the chamber when that cast time finishes, you will die. That's it. You'll die. So what you need to do is once it gets close to finishing, you do need to run out of that chamber. You get 2 chances at DPSing down the heart. So you can either pop hero the first time and try to kill it during that first phase, or you can go back in there a second time. So you do see here, we run back out of the chamber, and it's a replay of what happened before. It's just tentacles, horrors, ichors, kite them to the front. All in all, this fight is very much about positioning and about DPSing at the right time. You don't want to kill the ichors when they're too far from the eye, because then they won't do anything. They won't damage the eye. So make sure you are aware if an ichor is chasing you. Kite it to the front of the room and go crazy DPSing in the front of the room. Get your snares, get your stuns, whatever it is that you need to do. I know Shockwave helps out a ton if you're a warrior in this fight. So you do see here we are starting to get all the ichors to the front. Once they get a little bit closer, we will DPS them down a lot. You did see there I did also interrupt the Mind Flay. So there's the stun. Make sure you DPS all that down, go back into the heart, and kill it. One thing to note is if you do have a horror that is alive, you do not want to put that inside of the chamber with the heart, since he does do that frontal cone ability. you can easily damage way more people than you should. You see here, as a tank, there wasn't anything to pick up, and what I was doing was running in and snaring as many Ickers as I could with thunderclaps. Now here we have a horror, but you will see that the eye will go down, so the chamber will open up. What I decide to do is not take the horror inside the chamber with me. There's no need to subject everyone else to that additional damage. I just let everybody else run in there, prioritize the chamber, and I stay outside, pop some cooldowns, make sure everybody can keep me alive. But the horror is not the priority. The heart is absolutely the #1 priority. Chamber's open. I run to the side. I run relatively close to the front of the chamber so healers can heal me and the raid. And just like that, the boss goes down. And have fun, everybody. Good luck with LFR.